They're not really going to serve you. But I want you to know God says, I'm giving them a safe place, a refuge. It's called the grace of God. Aren't you glad for the dispensation of the grace of God? That when a man has defiled himself, that a man can run into that city. That man of God said, here's what I want you to remember. You've got to stay inside of that city until that time comes for judgment. And I tell you, I'm glad because I'm a part of the church. Because then will come a day of judgment. The Bible said that every knee's going to bow and every tongue's going to confess. But let me tell you the difference about this old boy compared to some of those who are not washed in the blood of Jesus. You see, here's the difference. When I stand in front of God, I can say, yes, I have dwelt in the city of refuge of the grace of God for all of these years. But there's one thing different between me and that sinner who never accepted Christ. The blood has been applied. And he remembers in the Old Testament, whenever Ezekiel said, through the hand of God, I want you to anoint, I want you to put blood on three sides of the doorpost. You know what he was doing? He was saying that house, it will be spared. When the death angel passes over, he can't touch that house because it's covered in the blood. Thank God for that city of refuge. Because between here and glory, between here and heaven, between here and the Savior, I've got a refuge. Come on, the world don't understand it. But I can tell you like one songwriter said, the world can't understand it, and the world can't take it away. That world don't understand what God's done for me. But the Bible said, oh, taste and see that the Lord, He is good. Can you say that? Woo! God, I feel the Holy Ghost here this morning. Hallelujah. Amen. Some of you may say, well, preacher, how does that connect with the church of today? I want you to hear what Hebrews 6 and 17 said. Wherein God, willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise the immutability of His counsel, He confirmed it by an oath, that by two immutable things in which it was impossible for God to lie, we may have a strong consolation who have fled for refuge to lay hold on the hope that is set before us. Amen. God gave us a strong indication and a reference for those 6 cities of refuge from so long ago. I want you to know, amen, there were people in the Bible that understood the safety of God. How many remembers when Saul, he pursued after the man David. He went from cave to cave, from the mountainside to valley side, and Saul pursued after David. But David knew, if I can just hide in God, if I come on now, if I can just find my place in God, everything's going to be all right. That's right. I told you the other day about 2 other examples in the Word of God. How many remembers the Bible said in the book of Proverbs that there are 4 things on this earth that are small, but they're exceeding wise. And one of those I love, it was the conies. They were a rock badger, just a little animal that knew how to find refuge. You see, whenever that wolf would come upon the horizon, that rock badger, he'd be like me, running to home base. And I tell you, he knew how to find safety. He found his house in the rocks. And I tell you, I like that, Coney. I Can you imagine if you were to take that golden pot of the manna out of the ark of God? That ark, it was overlaid with gold. It was sealed with that lid on top. And inside was the Ten Commandments. Aaron's rod that budded, and a golden pot of manna. What if we'd have took that golden pot and we'd have took it outside of that Ark of the Covenant and set it down outside? You believe what you want to, I believe it would have rotted and it would have decayed. But as long as that bowl of manna stayed inside of the ark, everything was good. Let me tell you something. If somebody comes by and they tell you that you can't backslide on God, you can't fall away, come on, you get outside the ark and you'll find out real fast. Your life will go in tailspin and you'll go straight down the pipe. But I can tell you, honey, stay in the ark, stay in the will of God, and God will protect you. Can you say that? The Holy Ghost. I want to tell you what the Holy Ghost showed this preacher. Amen. I love when the Spirit of God, not Brother Myers, not my flesh, but when I get a hold of God, God gets a hold of me. This is what the Spirit showed me. That the Bible reveals God's safety and those that benefited from it all throughout its pages. Noah's Ark showed us the safety in the plan of God. The Red Sea crossing showed us the safety in the deliverance of God. Jonah's deliverance from the fish showed us safety in the will of God. Come on now. The Hebrew boys in the furnace showed us the safety in a stand for God. You helping me preach. Daniel's night with the lions showed us the safety in the favor of God. Proverbs 18:10 showed us safety in the name of God. It said the name of the Lord is a strong tower and the righteous run unto it and is safe. The disciples in the ship during the storm showed us the peace in God. Come on, the safety in the peace of God. The upper room showed us the safety in unity with God. Amen, Stephen. Stephen, that man who stood up for God while he was being stoned, and he looked steadfastly up to the heavens. And he said, the Bible said he saw God standing at the right hand of God. So the safety in the Spirit of God. Come on! You know that tells me there's a place in God that you can get in, and it don't matter what demonic attack. It don't matter what principle, power of hell. The devil can't touch you because God said you're in my plan. You're safe in God's pavilion. Raise your hands, somebody pray. Come on, praise.
What schedule are you on? Are you there every day, 9 to 5?
No.
Churning out in a half hour or an hour or what?
No, we're there. We tape on the average of 2 days a week, which doesn't sound like a lot, I know. But we tape 5 shows in one day on the average of 2 days a week. But during the off time, I'm traveling with the show, doing contestant searches around the country, or a promotion for the show, or a promotion for other things. So I'm always on the go.
You go in there and tape 5 in a block.
Yes.
Is that right?
5 in one day, a whole week's worth in one day.
What are the audience reactions like? And from that, the letters. What do people most want to know about Vanna White?
Normal things like, do I get to keep those clothes?
Do you?
That's the most asked question, and no, I don't. And this is my own outfit I'm wearing today. They ask that, and surprisingly enough, they say, you're so much tinier in person. Don't you get that being on TV when people see you in person?
Because I'm only 4'8", and more people think that I'm considerably taller than that. But no, I think it's a different illusion, you know,
Sure.
of being on television, certainly. The letters that kids send you, too. I mean, you've had some sweet letters.
Oh, some wonderful
from kids
letters.
across the country.
And I'm into my book signing tour now.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of little children come up, little girls.
Yeah.
And She wants to be you when she grows up, the mother would say, which is really nice. It's very touching to me.
How do you deal with, I've mentioned that Ted Koppel slap there, verbal slap.
I love it.
Do you? Is
Sure.
it bad recognition better than none at all? Or?
Absolutely. As long as they pronounce or spell your name right, they say that that's supposed to be good.
Yeah.
And it doesn't bother me because I'm a perfect target. I turn letters on a game show.
Right.
This is what I do, and it's not the most intellectual job, but I have fun doing it, and I take it for what it is.
I think that's the interesting thing to me is that you don't come out and assume that it's like finding a cure for cancer.
Right.
It's fun.
Yeah.
All it
So
is.
you got to have fun with it.
All right. Anybody out there ready to talk to Vanna White?
They're all quiet.
They are.
Come on.
They're so bashful. We're going to take a break, and all the blushing young college students will get a chance to talk to Vanna White right after this. We are back with Vanna White. This is the book, her new book, Vanna Speaks. And Letterman said the vowels were extra for this. Is that true or no?
No.
No, good.
Not a dime extra.
Good. Which of those two posters do you like best? The
That's
most
a good
recent one is
question.
the sort of the elegant evening out look, and then we've got the Vanna in a haystack.
Well, this is the real me,
Is that right? Yeah.
and I like to look like that.
Okay. All right. Who likes which poster? Which poster do you like better?
The one on the right.
The one on the right? Okay, the hay
The
version.
haystack.
Yeah.
Much more natural.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How about you?
I like the evening version.
The evening version?
Yes.
Okay. Right here.
Evening version for sure.
Okay. And
The
one on the right.
The one on the right. All right. Very good. Well, they've been selling well?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes. I did them, and that's the end of it. I'm not making millions of dollars off of this.
No?
No.
That's a shame.
It's all a facade, you see. It is a shame, isn't it?
Back in North Myrtle Beach, let's go back to your youth. Talk about who you were when you were a young girl growing up. Family, very important
Yes,
in your life?
I was in a close-knit family growing up. I have a younger brother, 4 years younger, and we were very close also. We would play cowboys and Indians, and we played games. I played a lot of board games, Parcheesi and Monopoly and all that stuff.
Little did you know that was job training.
That's right.
Right.
It did pay off. Yeah.
And Chris, and you live together now, right? He's your younger brother?
Chip. My brother,
Chip.
no, we don't, as a matter of fact, but he is working with me. He's keeping my life organized and straight. And he's engaged now, so him and his fiancée are out in California.
Did she pass muster when he brought her by?
Did he, what?
When Chip brought his intended by, I mean, did she have to sort of get your approval?
Oh, no. I feel that all of us deserve, whoever we want to be with, I don't think anybody should put holds on, even if it's my brother. If I didn't like her, I think he's the one who has to live with her, but no, I like her.
Back in North Myrtle Beach, your mother was always a very strong influence on you. She's passed away, and that's one of the first real tragedies in the book that that you talk about.
Yes.
Tell us about her.
Well, my mother was a wonderful, wonderful person. I think I learned a lot from her. She taught me independence and strength and courage, and I don't think I would be here right now if it wasn't for her and the way that she was always behind me with this positive attitude. And she passed away in 1980, and she was my best friend. It was a very, very traumatic thing for me. And from that, I learned more strength. And it was very, very hard to deal with because she died with cancer, which many, many people in this country do. So I think it's a very, very interesting part of my book. The book is dedicated to her for giving me life and everything she gave me. But we all deal with a situation similar to that. So I think people reading the book will relate to it very well.
Was that the first loss that you had experienced? Was that the first real...
Yes, the first major loss, yes. The biggest and most traumatic thing that happened to me was that, because I was in my early 20s, and I was there. I was there to the end. And when she died, she was 68 pounds.
Oh, good Lord.
So it was a real, real tragedy.
Was this at a point, this was before Wheel of Fortune, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
this was in 1980, and I got Wheel in November of '82.
But she had lived to see some of your success with your Atlanta modeling career, and you had moved out to Los Angeles.
Yes, I had just moved out to Los Angeles, and then my father called and said, I think you should come home. Because she wanted me to, she didn't want to interfere with my career, so she kept it from me. she wouldn't tell me how sick she really was.
The man you call your father is your stepfather.
Yes.
Right. Do you know your real father well?
Yes.
Did you meet him much?
I haven't seen him that much over the years. I did see him a few weeks ago. I was in Florida, where he is, and visited him. He's doing quite well, him and his family. But we write on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, we have the same birthday. So.
I guess I should say your natural father as opposed to your
Sure.
real father, because you would regard your stepfather as your real dad, having brought you up. What's your relationship with him? He's still alive.
Terrific.
Yeah.
I have a great relationship with families. I feel very close to families. I've learned a lot from everybody's family.
Yeah.
Old boyfriends' families. I'm just close to all of them.
Even the old boyfriend's family?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How about the old boyfriend?
I'm friends with them,
Friends
too.
with them, too? Okay. Who had a question? Go ahead, Chris.
I was wondering, now that you're on the Wheel of Fortune, what your plans for the future might be, because, of course, you can't do that forever. But I was wondering if you had anything to back
That's
up
what they
on.
said to Johnny Carson, too.
That's
Can't do
true.
that for 20, 25 years. When are you going to get a real job?
No. I'm going to stay with Wheel of Fortune. I have no desire to leave it because it's just too much fun. But I know you're right, it will not last forever. So when the wheel dies...
Oh, what a...
Oh, that sounds awful.
I remember at the end of Howdy Doody, the last Howdy Doody show, Clara Bell croaked goodbye. Is the wheel going to go or something? What's going to happen?
It'll probably happen something like that, I guess. Oh, I hope not. I hate to see that day.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I'll do. Something in front of the camera, maybe portraying myself in a series.
Like a sitcom or something
Sure,
like that?
something like that would be fun.
Well, you're already starting to branch out. You're appearing more and more in other primetime shows. A case in point, Bob Hope's birthday special.
Yes,
A clip from which we just coincidentally happen to have right now. Let's take a look at Vanna White with Bob Hope.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now turning on the fasten your seatbelt sign.
All right, there you go.
Yes. I might add, that scene, that particular part of that scene, I was in several scenes during the hour, but that scene got more applause than anything. It was great. People related to it.
You've done variations of that thing on Jay Leno's special. You were the one who unveiled by turning the correct letters that Letterman, whose Letterman murderer was. Or,
lettuce and tomato and eyes and all that
And
stuff.
here you come here, and we've got a letter board all set. Do you ever just, you come in, you go, look, enough with the letter turning. Let's talk about something else.
Never. Letters are my life.
Now, Joan Rivers asked you a question. Are some letters harder to turn than others? I think you were kidding.
I was kidding.
All right.
Yes. No. They're all created equal.
Right. All that. Well, that's good to know. Important tips today. Go ahead.
How did appearing in Playboy affect you? Did it upset you greatly?
Yes, appearing in Playboy did upset me because those shots were not done with my permission. Several years ago, I did a lingerie shooting to pay the rent, and I shouldn't have done it, and I knew from the second I said I'd do it, I shouldn't have done it, but I did it, and I regret it, and several years later, they appeared in the magazine, in a friend's magazine, and that probably hurts more than anything, the fact that he was a friend.
And that's past tense right now, I would imagine, huh?
Yes.
What did he say to you? I mean, you and Hugh Hefner had been friends.
Friends, and he said
had had a relationship again, according to the tabloids.
No.
According to the tabloids, you've had relationships with just about everybody.
This is true. I should be dead by now.
Yeah, that's.
I say I've had relationships with. No.
But what was that like when he finally he did tell you he was going to renege on his promise and run them? Right?
Yes, he did. He told me at first that he wouldn't run them, and then he said it was out of his hands. So they ran, so there was nothing I could do.
Have you sensed that there's been any negative impact from that? People seem to have taken your comments at heart, and there doesn't seem to be any real...
Well, there's always damage done. Yeah. I can't say how much damage has been done. Yeah. I know that there's a lot of personal damage as far as I'm concerned in just the situation. I'm a down-home, old-fashioned girl, and I believe in morals and keeping your word and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's real rough for me to deal with.
Is that something that small-town quality that I think probably made Merv Griffin pick you out of all those other applicants, is that something that really gave you a firm foundation for dealing with this notoriety?
I think so. It's real tough in this business. In California, you know, everybody, you think the glamorous Hollywood life. I'm really not that way. I like staying at home, petting my kitty cats, and cooking chicken and dumplings. That's a perfect evening for me.
As a matter of
How
fact,
boring,
everybody's
huh?
invited over after.
Yes, come on over.
Really? That's a big night for Vanna White?
I love doing that. I really do. Because, look, I go to work. They dress me up like a great Barbie doll and put me in these outrageous clothes and do my hair and makeup. And that's wonderful, too. I love that. But away from that, I like just the simple life of just staying at home, watching TV.
All right.
Crocheting.
Crocheting. You even have an Afghan
yes. I have. Oh, I do. I have my Afghan pattern in the book.
Uh-huh. That book has
that book has everything.
Everything in that book.
Everything you always wanted to know.
Okay. We're going to take a break. We'll come right back with more with Vanna White. Also, Vanna, you're going to give a letter-turning lesson to a lucky member of our studio audience, right?
Yes.
Great. Okay. We'll be right back.
Come join us in the studio audience for People Are Talking.
We're here with Wheel of Fortune's Vanna White, and immortalized in song by the group Dr. Dave, Vanna, Pick Me a Letter. That's got to feel good. I mean, look at, these are the kind of guys you'd probably love to hang around with, right?
Sure.
Fine-looking crop of humans here.
They sing a good song.
Huh?
They sing a good
Yeah,
song. I have nothing to do with that, you know.
Nothing at all?
No, I just heard it on the radio one day. I thought it was cute.
I bet there must be days. I mean, you're in a real good mood most of the time, it seems. But there must be days when you don't want to turn on the radio or watch Johnny Carson's monologue or go to the supermarket for what you're going to see on the newsstands. Does it ever get too much? You ever just want to be that young Vanna White nobody knew from North Myrtle Beach?
Maybe sometimes I do, you know. But most of the time, I'm very happy. I'm really thrilled when someone comes up and asks me for an autograph.
Yeah.
I'm going, you want my autograph?
Yeah.
This is great.
But you don't seem plagued by any of the demons that haunt so many people, like, I'm going to wake up some morning and no one will like me anymore. Why did it happen to me? Do you
I
seem to
think
take
of
it
that.
all? Do you really?
Sure.
Yeah.
Because it can be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's what you have to think about, especially in this business. You're on top one day and the next day you're...
Well, and now Chuck Woolery and Susan Stafford must be watching this parade pass by and shaking their heads going, wait a minute.
No.
Because they were the original host and hostess of the show.
Chuck's doing very well.
Yeah.
He has another game show on the air, which maybe we better not say.
No, we have them. We have Love Connection and Scrabble.
See?
Both.
So Chuck's doing very well.
Yeah.
And Susan is too. Susan chose to leave the show to go to Texas to help out cancer patients.
Yeah, but what's different that made it really crackle when the two of you folks came on? That made it a national habit, really?
I think maybe the syndicated show. It being on at a certain time in the evening, before dinner or after dinner, and a lot more people are able to watch it at night. So perhaps that had a lot to do with it. And I think the fact that the show has been on for 14 years, every once in a while it needs a little change, so or tune-up, or whatever you want to call it. And I guess it was time for a change. The change just worked out perfectly, I guess. And Pat and I get along terrific, and we just do the best job we can.
All right. He seems like he would be sort of mischievous to work with. Is that?
No.
Because I interviewed him once. And,
oh, did you?
Yeah, and he was mischievous then. I would imagine he'd be with you, too.
No, he's fun. What you see on TV, you know, like one time he gave me a plastic pancreas. Things like that he does.
Wait a minute.
He gave me a plastic pancreas for Valentine's Day.
Oh.
He does those kinds of things. Fun things.
It's a good gift idea. You know, go ahead.
I was wanting to ask you, do you have an agent, and what part does your agent play in picking the right thing for you to go to and see? And did they set up the interview with Merv Griffin?
No, as far as my position on Wheel of Fortune, I got that on my own. That was through a friend who I heard that the position was open, so I auditioned for myself. But most of the time, I do have a manager who takes care of all my business. Phone calls come into him, and he will set up everything. And if an offer comes in, we discuss it together, what the pros and the cons of that particular job.
Is a manager different from an agent? Do they have different roles, or do they tend to
Yes, they do. An agent does get you through the door for an audition, but a manager can do the same. But in this case, my manager is working as my agent because I don't have an agent. But most managers make endorsement deals, such as products on television, those kinds of things.
You must get some Lulus, people wanting you to endorse things.
Sure, I get
What
some
are some of the-
unusual things.
what are some
Well,
of the
I
more-
will only endorse something that I believe in,
Yeah.
and that I really use, that I eat, or that I sleep on. I'm endorsing spring air mattresses right now, and I sleep on a spring air mattress. And they've asked me to endorse some liquor, and I said no. Not that I don't drink it, but I just feel that it's not right to promote it, in my opinion, because I do believe in the drunk driving situation we have. So I don't endorse that. I just go with my gut or my heart and
Or your
do what
pancreas.
Or
Whatever.
my pancreas, right. And do whatever I feel is right.
Yeah. Has there been one that came in from some people who were serious? They wanted Vanna White to promote this product, and you and your manager just said, I don't believe this one.
No, not really. Not really.
Yeah. Like an official, I don't know. Well, I don't even know what
I
they
don't
would
know.
be.
No, I haven't had any unusual ones.
All right.
Vanna, with your hectic schedule, do you follow any kind of physical fitness routine?
Absolutely. First of all, I follow a nutritional balanced diet. You know, you can't always eat right, but if you train yourself to eat properly, then you can. You can learn to eat that way, such as, you know, fruit for breakfast or a bowl of cereal, or just you have to get on the schedule of not eating all those whole cakes and all that stuff when you don't have to. I just did a video, which will be out in a couple of months, called Get Slim, Stay Slim with Vanna White. And it's a whole week's worth of getting in the habit of eating properly and eating well-balanced meals. And in exercise, I do basic exercise like sit-ups and push-ups and running. Just the normal things. I don't have time to go to the gym, unfortunately, but I do a lot of it. You know, I get up, make the bed, do 25 sit-ups. Then after I make the bed, I'll do 25 more sit-ups. So there's 50 sit-ups out of the way in 5 minutes. So I do it on a regular basis, and you get your body used to that. Carry 2 bags of groceries in instead of 1. You know, it's like carrying weights.
Have you ever really gotten enormous? I mean, you look at you're so thin and
I haven't always been this way.
yeah. How bad did it get?
It got 132 pounds, and for me, that's a lot. I was 25 pounds heavier. That's a lot.
And
it took me a while to lose it, but that was through changing my eating habits and exercising.
Okay.
Vanna, do you know what sets you apart from other game show hostesses? Why you get all the publicity, or?
Probably, I first want to point out that there's no feuds going on between me and the other game show
Now, wait a minute. I read that in the tabloid,
You read
too.
that, too?
All this stuff, yeah.
Tom, how many times
Right
do I have
after
to
you
tell
dated
you?
the original Monkeys. That's,
Oh.
yeah, that's when it
I
was.
was on a plane with them once, so somebody probably took a picture, and it appeared in there. No, we're all created equal. Seriously, I mean this sincerely.
Oh, but like in Animal Farm, some are more equal than others. I mean, let's face it, we're not doing an hour with the Price is Right.
Well, I know, but the thing is, I think the reason that I am getting more publicity is the fact that Wheel of Fortune is the #1 game show. So you can't help but get the publicity and exposure from being on a #1 show. And the other shows are fine too, but right now I think all the media is hooked on Wheel of Fortune. And that's, thank you, because that makes me part of it.
Is it like Pat Sajak commented? Does it feel like a feeding frenzy sometimes?
Yes,
it's like a snowball rolling down a mountain that just gets bigger and bigger?
Yes.
Well, let me ask some of, we got Vanna fan club members up here.
Okay.
Do you guys watch any other game shows at all? The Newlywed Game, yeah, which is one of the reasons for the rising divorce rates in this country. They don't have anyone like turning the newlyweds around on that show. So do you watch the show at all, other than Wheel of Fortune?
Sometimes I watch Price is Right.
Now, what do you think it is? From a viewer's standpoint, why is Vanna White so popular, and the Price is Right women, though nice people, I'm sure, can't get arrested?
Well, Bob Barker doesn't really excite me too much.
See, so it's Pat Sajak.
So it's not Vanna, it's Pat?
They have a younger image.
Is this the right fan club up here? Wait a minute.
The Price is Right seems like the same show that my mom was used to watch. And Wheel of Fortune seems like an updated, new type of show.
Yeah,
it's a lot modern.
Oh, yeah. So it feels a bit more stodgy, huh? Because they wear support stockings and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, the contestants seem to be the same mold, too.
Yeah.
The Price is Right, they're a lot older.
Okay. All right. When we come back, I want to talk about, get into a serious vein again, and about the second real tragedy in your life when John died in the plane crash. And we'll continue our conversation with Vanna White after this. Back, we are with Wheel of Fortune's Vanna White. Let's talk about another tragic aspect of your life, certainly, was John Gibson's plane crash.
Yes.
A relationship that really had been the most important romantic relationship in your life.
Yes, it was. First of all, I dealt with my mother, which was a slow process of dying, which was very hard to deal with. Then all of a sudden, 6 years later, my boyfriend of several years dies suddenly in a plane crash. You know, we kiss each other goodbye in the morning, and that afternoon I get a phone call that he had been killed in a crash. So that was another situation I had to deal with on a different level, a totally different kind of death. And it seems so morbid to talk about death, but we have to, because we all have to deal with this. And I deal with it in the book, and I explain exactly what happened and my feelings, and I'm still dealing with it a year later.
When most of us have to deal with a loss, though, we are given the privacy that anonymity grants. We can mourn in private. We don't have to still have people charging up for autographs. How did that... now, for some people, going back to work right away helps. I mean, did your celebrity make the mourning period easier or harder?
Well, fortunately, it was at this time of year, so we were on hiatus. So I had a few weeks to get things organized and straighten my life out. And I went right back to work immediately, and I have not stopped work since I went back to work 3 weeks after it happened. And I have buried myself into that, into work. And everybody goes a different way, and that's the way I took. And again, on the outside, everything looks fine. On the inside, it still tears my heart up.
When you saw John first on the Merv Griffin show,
yes,
wasn't
I
it?
did many years ago when I was living in Atlanta.
Enough,
He was on the Merv Griffin show, and I saw him, and I said, "This looks like a very nice man. I'd like to meet him." And when I moved,
that's not what you said.
What did I say?
You said, "I'm attacking this guy right here."
Okay, I did say
in
that.
the book, you set your sights and you went. I mean,
did.
He was a Chippendale.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so you got to see most of him on the Merv Griffin show.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, he was also on The Young and the Restless.
Uh-huh.
And so when I moved to Los Angeles, I ran into him all the time. Oddly enough, I ran into him at, I did, on interviews. In Los Angeles, you have to go on auditions and things. And he was an actor also, so he was going on the same auditions. I kept running into him, but he had a girlfriend. So I was not interested.
Even so, Vanna White, he had a girlfriend. You're in there flirting with him.
No.
In the bar, in the Chippendales bar.
I was flirting with him until I realized he had a girlfriend, and then I said, "Listen, we can be friends. If your girlfriend ever leaves or you two ever split up, I'll be there."
Right, so you gave him some extra incentive to dump her right away,
So a year goes by, and a friend of mine tells me he broke up with his girlfriend. The next night, I was there.
Yeah.
We were together ever since, after that.
What was it about that relationship that was so much different and better than previous relationships you had had?
John was a real person, and he was fun and exciting, and there was no baloney between us. There was honesty. We were straightforward with each other, and he understood my business. He wasn't jealous of my business, because people can become jealous. You know, I worked till 9:30, 10 o'clock at night when I tape Wheel, and he didn't interfere with my showbiz stuff, but I had my personal life also. So he was just great. He was behind me 100%, and I needed that. And I was behind him too.
Because when two people are in the same business as you and he were, and one achieves a greater level of fame, that can usually be the end of it.
But it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. He was just as happy as I was when I got a job or when he got a job. As far as I'm talking about an acting job or something.
Do you date regularly now? Again, if we were to believe the tabloids, it's a wonder you had the time to do the show with us today.
This is true. No, I have started getting back into dating a little bit. It's been very difficult, but I'm just starting to get these feelings back of going out and with people and things. And it is tough too, because I wonder, do people want to go out with me for me or for who I am? You know, it gets a little scary. But I'm a real person, and I'm looking for somebody who sees that.
How do you determine that? How do you know in the course of meeting someone, getting to know someone, whether or not they're trying to sort of ride on the coattails of fame?
No, you know. You follow your heart in anything you do.
So Linda Evans...
Or look in those eyes.
Linda Evans' ex, I mean, he's not after you just because you're Vanna White.
No.
So what, you gonna get married to this guy or what?
Excuse me?
You gonna get married to this guy?
Am I? No, I'm not.
No?
I'm not getting married. You see a ring on this finger? No.
None of this trial marriage.
No. When I get married, it'll be for good.
Okay.
And it won't be for a while.
All right, but you'll tell us. When
I'll tell you, absolutely.
You give us a call and we'll get
Yes.
that. Okay.
You'll be the first to know.
Oh, will I really?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Back when you were in North Myrtle Beach, when you first knew that you had something special that would turn heads, you did some beauty contest competitions too, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Uh-huh.
And I never won.
You never did?
Not once did I win.
I think we have to. Did we already show the picture? Or we have one of you. Here you are.
Wait.
Now you're the third from the right.
Yes. That was...
How old were you
Miss
here?
Fire Prevention.
Miss Fire Prevention.
Yes.
And
I
you,
was in
who
high school
won?
there.
Who won of this?
Who won? Diana Owens won. I
Which
think
one's
she's the one
Diana?
on the end.
Oh,
now,
you-
this is a different pageant.
Oh, it
this,
certainly is.
This is Miss Georgia, Miss Georgia Universe.
Miss Georgia
Yes,
Universe?
when I was living in Atlanta. Miss Georgia USA.
Now, who won this one? You're best looking one
It
up there.
wasn't me, thank you.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
No?
Nope. But I had fun. It was an experience.
Is it? Because I think Miss Universe is tonight. Or Miss Solar System or something is tonight. I forget.
Yes. I could
do you,
be there.
Do you think this is a great opportunity for young women, or do you think it's like a parade meat market?
No, I don't. I do think it's a great opportunity. I learned a lot from doing those pageants. I really did. But I think, again, you have to take it for what it is. You know, don't kill yourself if you don't win. But it's a lot of good training because you get very, very nervous up there. Your mouth gets dry and you can hardly walk. It's the same kind of a thing. I think it's a good experience for someone who wants to be in the public eye or take on a modeling career or an acting career.
Now, you had a way to get around that mouth getting dry thing.
Yes, I did. My little secret.
Go ahead.
It sounds awful?
I thought so.
You take Vaseline and you put it up here on your gums. It sounds ridiculous.
And your teeth, didn't you put it on?
Yes, you have to. Your mouth gets so dry. What do you expect?
Yeah.
You got to do something.
I guess so. We'll be trying that with everybody in the audience.
Another helpful hint.
Mass Vaseline off. But first, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, you'll give Chris, are you ready? Young Chris here, a chance to learn how to turn the letters. Right after this special commercial word. What? Oh, that's right. That's right. Leading. You do like a warm-up beforehand, before the show?
Well, Jack Clark is there to do the warm-up, who is wonderful, I have to add. He is the announcer on the show.
Right.
He's the one who says, look at this studio, filled with fabulous prizes. But I come out and say hi to the audience, answer questions and all that stuff.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. But that's the cheerleading aspect you were talking about.
Yes. I always do this.
Little did you know.
Do I look stupid up there by myself doing that? There's 200 people in the audience doing it, too. You know, I often wonder, I'm standing there, come on, come on. But everybody else is doing it, too.
That's right. No, don't start getting paranoid on me. It's fine.
Okay, all right.
You do it well. Obviously, you got a book. You're all over the magazines everywhere. We're also going to put you to work here.
You are.
All right. Let's have a hand. Mike Nozell, our shop director and set builder back there, did a nice job here on this.
He did.
Poor man's Wheel of Fortune set. Oh, there he is. Smile for the camera, Michael. That's right. He looks like he's in the dugout with a chocolate of tobacco. All right. Yes. Now, what I was wondering, could you give one of our lucky audience members, Chris, come on up here. Meet Vanna White. Tuck your shirt in, for God's sake.
Hi, Chris.
Come on over here.
How are you?
Chris, where do you go to school?
Strong hands.
Notre Dame, and what year are you in?
A freshman in college.
All right. So have you made career plans now, or is this?
No, not as of
yet.
This
could be like a turning point for you in your life.
This could be big.
All right. Now let me get out of the way. Vanna, what are some of the key points? Now the problem is they don't light up.
Well, that's okay.
All right, that's okay. All right.
Okay.
But what would you say for Chris, who as yet has no idea what his future holds, in terms of being a professional letter turner?
Well, first of all, you have to reveal or show what we have up here, like this, right?
Let's get out of the way. I'll get behind you, Chris, here.
You gotta like say, this is our puzzle for today. Like that.
All right, Chris, Vanna, all right, Chris, do that part first, because that's the setup. The setup is important.
This is our puzzle for today.
Yay!
All right.
You did good. Okay.
More extension, don't you think? More extension?
Oh, he did fine.
All right.
First
I'm not,
time.
be it far from me to...
I've been doing it 4.5 years.
Okay, that's true. All right.
Okay.
Now, you've done that.
So
You've
he's
set
done
it up.
that,
Okay.
and now he's applauding. Well, I guess we're doing turning letters, but I would
No,
applaud
that's
for
part
the
of job.
contestant.
Applaud for the contestant.
You know, big money, big money.
Big money,
Come
big
on.
money.
Good.
All right.
Good.
All right. The first
All right.
contestant asked for an N.
An N.
An N. So we have to find the N's. They don't light up, but I'll
Go
show
ahead,
you where
Chris,
they
go
are.
ahead.
All right. There's an N here, right? So let's turn that around. You get on this side. Turn this one around. Perfect.
So is that good?
See?
Was that good?
See how easy it is? I'm upset. People are gonna know how easy my job is now.
All right, now just do one more, because I that might have been beginner's luck,
How?
you know?
Yeah, try another.
Another N.
All right,
Yeah.
another N.
Yeah.
And I'll do the last one.
All right, all right.
This is the last one.
All right. So,
What is the puzzle? already
Vanna,
know.
Vanna Mania. So see that.
So let's reveal them together.
All right, let's go ahead, Chris. Reveal it all out. There you go.
There. See how easy?
All right. How about a hand for Chris?
Yeah, you did great, Chris.
We'll go back. Let's go back up to the... Chris, have you found a new future for yourself, you think?
Yeah, I think Pat better watch out.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I think Vanna better watch out.
Yes.
If you look
I'm
good in a
nervous.
sequin gown, we're all in trouble, I guess. Well, what I'd like to do, we have another clip from the Bob Hope. It was the Easter special, not the birthday special.
Yes.
And we're going to take a look at that in a moment. But I hear that there is a movie in the works, a murder mystery based on the Wheel of Fortune.
I
What do you-
heard about that. I mean, I briefly heard about it,
Yeah.
but they haven't asked me to do it, so I don't know what it's all about.
Well, they're not going to get Susan Stafford for it, are they?
I don't think so.
No, that would...
I don't know.
No.
I don't know if it's true or not.
They don't tell you. They keep you guys in the dark, sort
Yes,
of, huh?
I don't know anything.
Uh-huh. What's Merv Griffin like to work with?
Oh,
Is he...
He's great.
Yeah.
He really is. He's wonderful. What you see is what you get with Merv, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's very down to earth and fun and
rich.
rich.
Yeah,
yes.
Wheel of Fortune, which originally, from what I hear based on interviews with him, is a variation on the old Hangman
Yes,
game.
it is. And Merv came up with this.
Mm-hmm.
He came up with it one day, and look what it did.
How involved
He's still
is
involved.
he?
He is so involved with the game. He still comes up with puzzles.
Yeah.
And all the puzzles that are on our show have to go through him. He has to approve them all. But half of them, at least half of them, he comes up with himself.
Is that right?
Yes,
Right.
he loves the show.
Okay. All right, let's take a look at yet another clip of Vanna in action on the Bob Hope Easter special.
Hey, we're very happy to have you with us, Vanna. Having you on the show makes me wonder, do you think I'd be a good contestant on your show, Wheel of Fortune?
I'm sure you would, Bob, because I can see from your cue cards that you already know most of your letters.
Working on game shows must be fun, huh?
It is. There's very little rehearsal, and you work with some people who hardly know anything, and you never quite know what's going to happen next. It's great training for doing your show, Bob.
I kept telling them, Betty White, Betty White.
That's
He has-
fun. It's such a thrill to look up and see me standing next to Bob Hope. He's
Yeah.
such a legend.
He has the longest reaction take since Jack Benny, I think. He just sort of
Yes.
stares off into space a lot. What about for people, now of course Chris is already just on a rocket towards a new career here, but for the other folks who would just like to be contestants, how do they go about doing that?
Well, we are listed in Los Angeles in the phone book under Wheel of Fortune. You just give us a call, and anytime we only audition in Los Angeles unless we're coming to Boston here. We will call, we'll put an announcement on the air that we're coming, but I don't think we're coming in the near future. So if you're going to California for a visit to see Disneyland or whatever, just give us a call. We're listed in the phone book, and you can audition out there and hopefully be on the show.
And what's the process like, and how likely are they to...
I have
mean,
to
how long,
tell
you have to,
you.
like a 4-month vacation to go through all the steps? Or?
No, there's 2 auditions. You
Yeah.
first go and take a written test. Sounds really hard, and it is hard. I didn't pass the test.
Oh, you
And I
didn't?
wasn't even nervous. And Sajak scored 100.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but
It's a good thing you got a steady job.
This is true. Yes.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with Vanna White. Stay with us. Couple of notes. We only have a couple more minutes. through the miracle of modern technology, even as Vanna sits here fielding the last few questions, you are at, let's see, laureates at the Copley Plaza?
Yes.
Is that right? Signing...
Copley Place.
Copley Place, signing copies of Vanna Speaks. And now, is this live or is it Memorex? We'll leave that for you to guess. Okay.
And I was just curious, have you had any opportunities to promote any apparel products? Like a Brooke Shields to Calvin Klein type of...
I'm working on that. I signed a deal with Licensing Corporation of America, who, that's all they do is get products for people to endorse, but nothing has been signed yet.
What types of things do you think you'd like to, in terms of clothing?
I think a clothing line would be nice.
Yeah, yeah. Would it be more like the jeans or the formal wear?
It would be a combination of both.
Good.
It would be me, whatever I feel comfortable in. Okay. And yeah, I think we all should wear different kinds of clothes.
Right. Okay.
Hey, Ben, how you doing?
Good.
You trying to score here? What's going on?
I think I'm a little nervous.
Hi, Ben. How you doing?
I'd like to touch on a topic that was brought up a little earlier about Playboy. Not that I read the magazine or anything like that there, but I did see the pictures, and they were done in very good taste. There's nothing to even dwell on.
Well, thank you for your support.
What does the future hold, do you think, beyond Wheel of Fortune? Have you made any initial plans for that? I mean, in this business, you sort of have to keep some irons in the fire at all times.
Nothing has been signed. I just hope to continue on in show business somehow, and I'm not sure what, because people are out there waiting. What is she going to do next? So it kind of puts me on edge a little bit, because I want to do a good job whatever I do, and I'm not sure what the public wants me to do, because I want them to be happy too. I don't think that they would like me playing a Joan Collins role, because they don't know me that way, and that's not really me.
Do you ever get bitchy? I mean,
Sure.
I'm trying to picture you in that.
Sure I do.
Really?
Yeah.
What would it say? I mean, obviously Hugh Hefner found the nerve, but beyond...
You know what really upsets me is getting lost on the freeway. Little things like that. I can smash up my car and I'm fine. You know, but if I get lost, little things like that really irritate me.
You're not doing your own driving in Boston, are you?
No.
Oh, good.
This is a beautiful city, I want to tell you. I'm really enjoying it.
Well, the city is great. The drivers are crazy.
Yeah.
Well, good. You just sit in the back of the limo or something and then put on a helmet and close your eyes and pray.
Okay.
Now, how long is this? A 3-week tour? You're going to be
I'm
going
on a
all over the
tour.
country?
All over.
Answering all these questions all over again and again. Huh?
Signing lots of books.
All right. Well, we thank you for being with us today and continued success in your career. And that's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon on People Are Talking. How about a hand for Vanna White?
Get me a ticket for an aeroplane. Got to get on the Wheel of Fortune game. I just got to win. Spin the wheel again. Oh, Vanna, pick me a letter. Bankrupt? What do you mean bankrupt? I don't care how much money I got to spend. Can't stand to look at Patsy Jack again. Won't throw in the towel till I buy a vowel. Oh, Vanna, pick me a letter. Hey, man, what do you mean there's no effing phone? Vanna, pick me a letter. No one does it any better. I dream about you. Hey, Vanna, is that an all over 10 or what? Vanna, I don't understand why you make 100 grand. Not for me to say. Anyway, get me a ticket for an aeroplane. Gonna be on the Wheel of Fortune game. I just got to win. Spin the wheel again. Oh, Vanna, pick me a letter. Go, Vanna, go, baby.